What's up guys, this is Spence and this is my new build for the Dragon Bones update. Just gonna go ahead and get straight into it. So this build is focused around max magic. Your sustain, you have decent recovery. A lot of your sustain comes from tripods and comes from your battle roar passives. So just to get right into the stats, this is my front bar unbuffed. We have 52,375 max magic, 23k max health, and 15k max stam, 1400 magic recovery, and 1800 spell damage unbuffed, which I know doesn't sound very impressive as far as spell damage goes, but that's what the max magic is for. Fully buffed, we're at basically 2200 spell damage, 23k spell resist, and 18k physical resist. I'm sure you could bring that up with CP a bit, but I don't really care that much. And 2200 crit resist. All max magic, and we're using the Mage Mundus and Bistat food. We're also a vampire. That doesn't matter so much. You don't have to be a vampire. At least the way that I play, I just like the little bit of recovery. So as far as the skills go, we're running Burning Embers, Great Dot, Great Healing, Flame Lash. I know a lot of people have stopped playing Mag DK entirely, or even the game, because Flame Lash was nerfed to where you can dodge the Power Lash. I don't know. I think really it's all about just knowing the class and getting the hell over it, because everyone gets nerfed. We all get hit with something, and Mag DK's nerf just happened to be Power Lash, which is a great skill. And you know, Flame Lash, Power Lash, it still beats out the other morph of Whip. So Shattering Rocks, we changed this from last patch from Fossilized to Shattering Rocks, which is kind of a shitty kind of change, because I've always liked Fossilize a lot more than Shattering Rocks, just because of this the CC that it adds, and we aren't running Talons anymore. So really there's no CC, so that's kind of an issue if you want to go out and duel, is that you have no CCs. But Shattering Rocks, I think it's just better. I honestly got the idea, I watch other people's build videos just to, you know, see what they think about things. So before the patch came out, I watched Blob's new video, and you know, I completely agreed with him that, you know, everyone's natural instinct when they're CC'd after the stun of Fossilize is that you dodge roll so you can get out of the CC. And you know, I tested it at first, and I immediately noticed that that's what happens. Everyone dodge rolls straight out of Fossilize. So I just took it to Shattering Rocks just to keep people from dodge rolling out, so I could get my Power Lashes off. Next is Dampen Magic, which I don't have leveled all the way because I've never really used it on this character. But we're going for, you know, a lot of tankiness from our shields. So you have the 52k max magic, and you have this strong ass shield. And then Inner Light, of course, and Shooting Stars are ultimate, which I haven't used as my offensive ultimate for a few patches. I think since Morrowind, it's become more of a back bar ult, but just because of how this build works, we're keeping Shooting Star on the front bar. And of course, it's always a great ultimate. But if you don't have Shooting Star, you know, that's fine. You can use Ferocious Leap, and then you can just back bar Standard or Bat Swarm. So to the back bar, we're still using Coag as our main heal. And I was testing a build before this patch came out, before Dragon Bones released, and it dropped Igneous Shield. And honestly, I hated not having Igneous Shield. It's great for stamina sustain. It makes your heals so much stronger. So Igneous Shield in my opinion, you can't drop it, and it gives you another extra little shield, so that always works. Structured Entropy, that's on our back bar just because it adds more to our heals, and I used to always run the DK buff, whatever the fuck it's called, Molten of Weapons. But since we're in light armor, I think having that extra bit of max health is really helpful, so that's why we're using Structured Entropy. Deep Breath, I would say this is your flex spot, but honestly, I think 1vxing double sword and board is pretty difficult without Deep Breath. It's a great heal, it's great AoE, and you know, whenever you're outnumbered, hitting Deep Breath is a lifesaver, so that's why I run it. And then of course Volatile Armor, your armor buff, and then of course whenever you have a Draconic skill slotted or activated, you receive 12% more healing. And then Ferocious Leap on our back bar, like I said, it's more of a defensive ult for me this patch. I'm really focusing on using Shooting Star as my primary ultimate for damage, and Ferocious Leap is my, oh shit, I'm outnumbered, and it gives you a shield. So that's it for the skills. Into the gear, you could get your max magic a little bit higher, but I'm pretty cheap. So we're using Shacklebreaker, Sword and Board, Nirnhoned Weapon, and spell damage, or sorry, the Berserker enchant on the weapon, max magic on the shield. It doesn't have to be Nirnhoned, it can be reinforced, it doesn't matter. It's literally, what, a 41 armor difference, so it's really nothing. I'm using Nirnhoned again on my back bar just because I use so many damage skills on there, and you know, it also buffs my healing. Reinforced shield. And then I've started running this poison just because honestly I don't give a fuck about being nice anymore. Everyone else runs poisons and I may as well join. So it does damage, it heals me, it increases the cost of their abilities, and it gives me magic and stand back. So really there's no better poison to me that you can run. And you make this poison by using Columbine, Bugloss, and Mountain Flower with Alkahest. So that's how you make that. So going on into the gear a bit more, one Doma House. You'll notice that none of my armor is gold because, like I said, I'm cheap and I don't give a damn. Only thing I'll gold out are my weapons because my builds change every patch. I always try to do something different to keep myself interested. So one Doma House, max magic, max stam, and a max magic enchant, Impen. We have 3 Shacklebreaker body pieces, so this one has a triglyph. That's our only triglyph in the whole build. You could probably sacrifice one more max magic piece for a triglyph just to give yourself a little bit more health, since 23k is fairly low for 1vxing in my opinion. But you have such big shields that it almost doesn't matter. So this piece is sturdy. This piece is divines. No, we're running 511, but this piece is divines. Honestly, it would be better off Impen or even sturdy, but I use this for Maelstrom on my mag blade, so I'm not going to change it. It's my only medium piece in Grothdar, so I'm just keeping it like this for now. We're running 2 spinner just for max magic. So Impan, max magic. The rest of our Shacklebreaker, that's our second sturdy piece. 1, 2 sturdy. Impen, Shacklebreaker legs, max magic, and our last spinner piece. And then as for jewelry, originally I was running Willpower. Willpower works just as well, but I think your max magic will come out around to 51k. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's about 51k. I don't even know if I... Yeah, well, I'll show you in a minute. But, so our 3 jewelry pieces are Ancient Grace, 1 spell damage, 2 magic recovery. You could drop the spell damage, and and go for reduced cost or even recovery. But honestly, the way that it works for me is I don't run out of max magic in time, since I have so much to really worry about all of the recovery, so I'm just going for more damage. If you want to go out and duel a bunch of people, then I would say go recovery or cost reduction. I would have to test either one of the two. But I'm going for spell damage and 2 recovery. And then, let's see, the willpower. Your max magic comes out to, yeah, 51k, but your damage stays about the same. It goes up a little bit. That's 11k. 11.1. Yeah, so it goes up by like 700, which, you know, that's a significant difference, but not so significant that, oh, well, wait, it was the enchants. That's what the difference was, because all my willpower's spell damage. So that's probably what the difference was. So the damage is probably about the same or less with willpower. So yeah, that's everything for the gear. 3 Ancient Grace, 2 Spinner, 5 Shackle, 1 Doma House, 1 Grothdar. It's kind of a clusterfuck of gear, but it works. And last thing, champion points. Green Tree, 44 Warlord, just because, you know, I don't perma-block. Really, I dodge roll more than I block, so, you know, whenever I get stunned, that helps me. 75 Arcanist, just to help ourselves out a little bit with that recovery. We don't need Tenacity, because you can't get max magic back from sword and board heavy attacks. And then 72 Shadow Ward for those times that we may have to perma-block because there's 10 fucking people on you and you're just trying to survive as long as you can. 18% into Tumbling, just because I don't know why, but I dodge roll a lot. And then this 1 point into Befoul, just for the hell of it. I had 1 extra point, and that's the only thing that's scaled up. For blue CP, I'm still kind of working on it, but this seems to be working pretty well. You could probably drop some points and put like 5% into Blessed if you need to. But we're going 51 Elfborn. We have pretty decent crit, basically 42%, so having Elfborn helps with our heals and our damage a lot. 64 Ellie Expert, 22 Erosion. You could probably take points out of here and put it into there, but I think we're fine as far as spell penetration goes, since so many people run shields and shit now. 66 Master at Arms, just because we aren't actually running a lot of dots. We have Burning Embers, and I believe Deep Breath is considered a dot, and you have the dot on Shooting Star. But really, most of your damaging skills will be single target. Or, sorry, direct damage. Thaumaturge, 15%, just because, you know, it adds damage to all of those skills that I just mentioned, and dots are pretty important on Mag DK anyways. And, you know, if I ever feel like putting on Talons or something, I can always have those points there for the dot that goes on Burning Talons. And then to round it all out, 20% Ironclad, 51 into Resistant, just because, you know, we're missing a few impin pieces here. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4 impin. So that helps make up for it since we have so much CP now. These points scale pretty poorly, so I only have them at 7% and then 23 thick-skinned. And to finish it off, 56 into Bastion to make our shield strong as shit. Alright, so that looks like everything. If you guys happen to have any questions, let me know, and I will respond. Thanks.